Hello and welcome back to Speed Model. Last time we built ourselves a nice lounge, we covered it with wallpaper, it looked really nice. And what that means is we're left with two more rooms to do in the office. One of them is the conference room in the corner, and the other is the bathroom. Technically there's 6 of them, but we're just gonna build one and then copy it 6 times over because I'm lazy. But here's the deal, we're not gonna be working on any of the rooms today. Instead, let's actually sort of backtrack and just add little details here and there to sort of make everything feel more vibrant and alive. You're watching another episode of Speed Model. Let us start off our adding of details with something for the pantry. We begin by building a little coffee machine. I begin with a cube that represents the base of the machine, using extrusion to give it a slightly more rounded shape. Then I give it a back, pushing it up, thus forming the rear of the machine. Once the rough shape of the back is ready, I extrude it forward once more, creating the top. With another extrusion, I taper out the front and proceed to subdivide the whole thing to make it look nice and rounded. I tweaked the base a little since it intersected with the tabletop. I also noticed that the top part of the machine was at a slant, so I quickly fixed that. With that done, I proceed to the coffee pot itself. Starting with a cylinder, I use extrusion to get it into a typically pot-like shape. I delete the top and use another extrusion to hollow out the insides. I then use a subdivision operation to smooth it all out. I turn my attention to the handle, which starts off as a simple cube mirrored about the horizontal axis. All it takes is a few extrusions before the two disconnected ends meet each other in the middle, giving us a handle. Now it's time for some colors. I give the machine itself a smart black color and color the pot brown. With that done, I bring in the microwave from the last season. All it takes is a little scaling and repositioning. You can't have a coffee machine without mugs. I built a very simple mug out of a cylinder and a handle out of a half torus. I used the proportional editing tool to very easily deform the handle to go at an angle. For symmetry, I simply used the mirror modifier. I hollow out the mug and we're done. Copying it once over, I build another mug in a slightly different style, with a sloped shape. Then I turn my attention to the pantry coffee table. I decided that what it needs are magazines, so I quickly cobbled together 2 cuboids in roughly the correct shape and proceeded to design my magazine covers. In GIMP, I began to construct my first magazine using a render from last season of Speed Model. I guess this is meant to be some kind of architecture magazine. The second magazine shall be a photography mag, using a picture I took a few months ago. All I have to do is to slap some text on top of it and we're done. Back in Blender, I simply apply these 2 texture images to the magazine meshes. I use 2 materials so that the bottom of the magazine looks like the pages of the magazine, instead of just a repeat of the cover. The UVs required a bit of tweaking, but once that's done, we have 2 pretty convincing looking magazines. Moving on once again, our next order of business are the office desks. I decide to just scatter a few sheets of paper on the desk. Then I create a pen holder and pop over to the cubicle room to populate the whole place with a bunch of pens. Finally, I steal a mug from the pantry, recolor it, and fill it up with coffee. Once again, going back to the cubicle room, I copy a notice board over, placing more sheets of paper on it, then beginning to model a little pin. This is relatively simple, all it takes are 2 cylinders and several extrusion operations. Once done with the office, I begin to copy the pinned items out into the cubicle room, and begin to randomize the contents of the notice boards, changing up paper positioning, pin positioning, as well as pin colors. When done, I copy the papers from the office as well, and scatter the pens that were already there. Then, mugs. The mugs from the pantry get copied out as well into random desks at a cubicle room. When positioned nicely, I begin to populate each with a respective drink. Once again, both the color and height of the liquid are randomized. But enough with adding a whole bunch of meshes. It's time to add some colors. I start off with the cubicle room, opting for a professional looking deep yellow. As for the pantry, I opted to go for a cheerful light blue. The office itself was harder. I really wanted a deep black color, but having it on every wall was just too much. In the end, I opted for that to be 2 colors instead. The back wall is black, while the rest of the walls are lighter grey. Taking a render of the scene from the corridor, I noticed one big problem. The corridor was horrible and multicolored. That's not gonna do. Instead, I decided on a consistent color for all walls facing the corridor. I do apologize for all the flashing that's happening on screen right now, but that's me speeding through all the corridor facing surfaces, coloring them the same grey as, well, the rest of the corridors. I noticed this still didn't look right. Many of the somewhat hidden surfaces still showed up with the internal colors, so I took some time to fix those. All the walls are currently one huge mesh, and how I really messed up its topology is coming back to bite me. Many of the surfaces are really difficult to pinpoint and select. When that is finally done, I then colored up the other office, as well as the interior of the conference room. Turning my attention to the other office, I do pretty much the same thing, copying papers and a mug over. Just to change things up a little, I also decide to create a little planter, using a half sphere. I fill it up with gravel, then copy over the particle system that generates the plant in the pantry. With some tweaks, we now have another decorative plant, sitting atop a filing cabinet. Now, we're about to wrap it up here, but I discovered something. Transparent surfaces can be made transparent in a viewport. This is going to help a lot in future work. And there you have it. We now have colors and little details here and there, which is great. It makes the place feel a lot more like, well, an actual place instead of, some kind of a sterile showroom. But here's the deal, we're not quite done yet. In fact, a lot of the things we have right now are still, sort of hacky, especially the lights. We're just gonna keep adding more and more details until things feel more or less right. And then we can turn our attention to the remaining 2 rooms, and when that's done, wrap it all up. But that will be for a future episode. That's all there is for this particular one. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, consider checking out the rest of my work on my channel. Alternatively, you may be interested in the last season of Speed Model. If you'd like to show me some monetary support, I am on Patreon. You can find a link to my campaign in the video description. Of course, you can simply like this video or leave a comment. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. To keep in touch with my future uploads, do subscribe to this channel. And for even more updates, check out the official Twitter account for this channel at 0612TV. Thank you for your support.